Welcome to the Straight Edge Game Room. You know, whether they be periodicals from the past or from the present, it seems that we're just surrounded by negative news. We're surrounded by a lot of heartache and tragedy. And it's good once in a while to just get away from all that and take a look at something optimistic. And today we're going to look at electronic Paperboy from Tiger Electronics. Now, given Tiger Electronics' infamy for terrible games, would this game be horrible? Well, you might be surprised. Let's get into it. This is the third installment of my game review show, the Straight Edge Game Room. It has a name now.
Oh, get out of my way, stupid kid on a skateboard.
Now, being straight edge, does that mean I go around beating up people who drink and smoke? No, it doesn't. It means that while other game review shows may open up a can of Sex Panther or Rollin' Rock, I choose to keep this clean and sober and keep it friendly for kids and adults.
It's hard to play this game through the camera. But I'm going to do my best for you folks.
Hopefully this will be a fun experience for everyone watching. Now here, today we're going to talk about Electronic Paperboy by Tiger Electronics.
It sure is a lot easier to make it in the mailbox in this game than it is on the arcade.
Of all the LCD versions of classic video games out there, it seems that the Nintendo Game & Watch series did it the best. They were champions of making LCD versions of popular games. And Tiger is known for abusing the system and just making watered down LCD versions of those classic games, but watering them down to where nobody wants them. But that's not the case with Electronic Paperboy. Electronic Paperboy is actually a good version of a classic video game, only rendered in LCD.
Yes, I made it.
But for what this is, it holds well on its own. Even though it's not as good as the arcade, you can't expect these LCD handhelds to be as good as the arcade or their home console versions. But I'll tell you this, it's a lot better than that Commodore 64 version. But we don't review games on the standard of some little brat who thinks everything that predates his mom's tablet is lame, okay? So shut up, you 12-year-old brat with a Minecraft Twitch stream. Nobody asked you. I'm getting carried away. A very ambitious attempt at recreating a classic arcade, only smaller. The button layout on the console, you got left, right, up. I think that makes you go a little bit faster, I'm not sure. Down for break. On the right, you got two buttons. One's for throwing the newspapers, of course, and pick, that's to pick up stacks of newspaper that are on the ground. You got your off button, your sound button, on, start, report. I really don't know what that does. I pushed it in the middle of the game. It doesn't seem to do anything. It doesn't do anything in the HUD. It doesn't do anything in gameplay. Unless I'm doing something wrong or I'm just not noticing something. But in my experience, I haven't seen what it does. You know, the thing about these LCD games is that you have to time your gameplay to a science, which is not that much of a chore once you get the hang of it. And once you do, it becomes a pretty compelling experience for what it is. The game starts you off on Monday morning, where the challenge is to a minimum. And then you make it to Tuesday, and now you got another obstacle, and the game gets a little bit faster. Wednesday, the game gets a little more challenging, and a little more faster. But I never make it past Wednesday. Every time I get to Wednesday, I get that game over screen of shame. Right there. That little kid crying. It means you have failed. You have shamed the family. Turn this game off. So, if you find this game out in the wild, should you buy it? If you can find it for what I paid for it, which was about $10, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and grab it. I think it was a wise investment. I think it was a lot of fun for me. But don't pay for what they're charging on eBay. They go up for about $50 or more, and I think that's ridiculous. And this game's not worth that much. This game is good, but you can find it on compilation discs on other video game consoles. You can also find it on the NES, and that one's easily accessible and cheap to find. But this is not a bad version. The Sega Genesis version is a pretty good one. But this is a good version if you like collecting LCD handheld games. Thank you for dropping in and watching this review of Electronic Paperboy. Please leave your comments below. Thanks again and stay tuned for next time.
Somebody done send me a new Paperboy. Mmm.